Straight to breaking news, and Sydney homicide detectives are hunting a killer this morning after a man was fatally shot in the city's west overnight. Emergency crews were called to a Canley Heights address following reports of shots being fired. A man in his 30s was treated for gunshot wounds but died at the scene. A short time later, a car was found on fire just suburbs away in Wakeley. Police believe the scene is linked to the shooting. And breaking news just outside of Melbourne, police are hunting an arsonist after a firebombing attack on a shop in Melton this morning. The blaze broke out at a business on High Street inside a shopping centre around 3 o'clock. Nobody was injured in the fire. There were calls this morning for a shark cull in Central Queensland after a man was mauled to death by a shark while spearfishing with friends. 40-year-old Luke Wolford is being remembered as a loving husband and dedicated pastor.
It was supposed to be a summer holiday to remember, but for Luke Wolford's wife and family, it's a tragic nightmare they've been forced to live.
Luke was a wonderful man.
The 40-year-old mauled and killed by a shark while spearfishing with his family off Humpy Island in the Keppels yesterday.
We've got a shark attack, top neck, bleeding, not controlled at this stage, 40-year-old male shark. CPR in progress.
Paramedics and the rescue helicopter attended. The male was rendered first aid by friends.
But he couldn't be saved. Luke and 30 of his family and friends were on holidays camping on the island. This was his favourite hobby. He'd spent his life on the water.
He was doing what he loved. His father taught him to go spearfishing.
His mother and several family members witnessed the horror unfold in the ocean. Luke was a much-loved member of the Rockhampton community.
Hello? Hello? Anybody?
A dedicated youth pastor at the Cathedral of Praise Church with his wife, Kayleen.
Miss Kayleen, God calls Moses to the mountain.
He was an outstanding young man who really was in charge of our youth group.
The reef sharks typically found in the Keppels are usually harmless to humans, but local fishermen say it's not uncommon to spot them. As a heartbroken family tries to understand how their fishermen got so unlucky. In Yeppoon, Rosanna Kingson, 7 News.
A manhunt is underway in Melbourne's west this morning after a hail of bullets were unleashed on a family home. Young children were asleep at the time. Police say it was a targeted and brazen attack that could have had deadly consequences.
All I heard was bang, 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 and I thought, I ain't going out there. I was about to walk out in the veranda and I thought, nah, stayed inside.
Neighbours say they're living in fear of future attacks. Sydney detectives have seized disturbing footage showing an alleged murder victim being held in a suffocating headlock for more than 10 minutes, with neighbours doing nothing to help the victim. 42-year-old Edgar Campos has been charged with the murder of 60-year-old Michael Wickham in Mount Pritchard. Police allege the man had been in a dispute with the other over a gum tree on Mr Campos's property that had been dropping limbs on the victim's home. Campos will appear in court today. 4 people are dead, 5 have been hospitalised and a teen is fighting for their life after a horror weekend on South Australian roads. A 19-year-old has been arrested, his 18-year-old passenger clinging to life after a crash at St Kilda. 2 women died after a crash at Nangwarry and 2 motorcyclists died after separate crashes across the state. Police are ramping up patrols leading into New Year's celebrations, including a random drug and alcohol testing. The cost of rebuilding Melbourne's Addas Israel Synagogue, torched in a terror attack 4 weeks ago, has soared to tens of millions of dollars. It's been reported that restoring the building will cost up to $40 million, with the building requiring state-of-the-art security systems to protect against future attacks. A 51-year-old man has been charged over the fatal stabbing of a man in Sydney's Inner West. Police say the man attacked the 82-year-old on Lyons Road at 5 Dock before 4 o'clock. Police arrested the 51-year-old in Pyrmont 2 hours later. He's been charged with cause wounding to person with intent to murder and will appear in court later today. One person has been killed and another badly injured in a plane crash north of New South Wales. The recreational aircraft came down on Palmer's Island west of Yamba. The pilot, believed to be a man in his 60s, was declared dead at the scene. His passenger, a man in his 30s, was taken to hospital with serious injuries. Crews battling monster bushfires in Victoria's west are bracing for another week of extreme conditions across the 76,000 hectare fire zone. The Prime Minister and Premier seeing the damage done firsthand.
We live in a country which has harsh conditions. The truth is they're becoming more frequent and more intense.
From 2 p.m. today, workers and sole traders impacted by the fires can apply for up to 13 weeks of income support. A gang of Western Australian teenage bike bandits have circled and attacked a police officer so viciously he needed stitches to his face. The group of around 30 children watched the afternoon attack that happened outside Optus Stadium. It's believed the officer attempted to arrest a teen before he was set upon by the youths. A 16-year-old has been arrested and charged with assault. All eyes will be on the skies in Queensland this week, with a wave of wet weather threatening to put a damper on New Year's celebrations. Storms are forecast for Brisbane and Ipswich throughout New Year's Eve, but should clear up by the night. On the Gold Coast and Sunshine Coast, storms are expected to clear by late afternoon. Well, the Boxing Day test is going right down to the wire after a gripping afternoon of action at the MCG. Teen sensation Sam Constas was given a reality check as India fought back to set up a mouth-watering finish.
After cheering on a match-saving century, Indian fans were ready for more on day 4.
The noise for India is unbelievable.
You can never sleep during the Jasprit Bumrah show, especially for the second instalment of Sam Constas.
Got him! Bumrah gets Constas, and look at him rev up the crowd.
A Constas-inspired send-off for the teen sensation. No birthday present for Travis Head either, as the Indian superstar went boom boom to have Aussie cricket legends in awe.
This man is a modern great.
Arguably the greatest fast bowler of all time.
Today's crowds pushing the MCG to a new record.
I thought Taylor Swift was big, but this has been something else.
The pop megastar sold out all 3 of her Melbourne concerts for a combined 288,000. With more than 41,000 filing in on day 4, the Boxing Day test has already pushed close to 300,000. Do you have a favourite player?
Bumrah. I love his bowling.
When Bumrah removed the out-of-sorts Mitch Marsh, it had fans reaching for a drink. Are we already drowning our sorrows?
Oh, not yet. We're playing on it soon, though. Yeah.
And raising more questions over the all-rounder's place in the team.
If he doesn't get runs, maybe they do look at Bo Webster.
Tickets for day 5 are just $10 and kids can come for free. A famous Indian win would ensure that they retain the Border Gavaskar Trophy once again. But it will require a near-record MCG run chase. The most ever is 332 96 years ago. Tom Wilson, 7 News.
Checking Monday's weather now, a shower or 2 in Brisbane and 29, partly cloudy in Sydney and 27, partly cloudy in Canberra and 30, partly cloudy in Melbourne and 28, cloudy in Hobart 2 and 23, mostly sunny in Adelaide and 29, sunny in Perth and 33, and a possible shower in Darwin and 35.